NFL on EA Sports. Mahomes now to throw. With a catch made by Hopkins. And they get him down before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
On first down, Connor. Fletcher Cox, the Eagles All-Pro, there to make the tackle. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an All-Star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right, and that game was played out in L.A., in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then, they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham, nickname Automatic.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Mahomes now on first down. Sets up the screen to Gordon. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation. But think about going to Orlando, especially if you've got kids. All the theme parks, all the great things to do, plus not nearly as long a flight no matter where you come from in the United States. I think it's a big deal and a good thing to have it here in Orlando.
Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And this results in 6. Touchdown.
I have to believe that in a Pro Bowl situation, you know, we talk about these defensive backs during the season, that they're educated gamblers. They take the education out of it. They just go for the football here. Hey, try and make a big play, and if you get one, you really look terrific in this game.
Rosas good with the extra point. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And give him a gain of 37.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
To throw, it's Mahomes. That's complete. It's Gordon. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Myers able to knock it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The final shot before half for Breeze. He sets to fire deep. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top.
The NFC looking to rewrite a little history as they lead this 2019 Pro Bowl at the break. Now remember, they've lost both of the previous Pro Bowls played here in Orlando. But maybe, just maybe, this is the one to break the streak. A lot still to play for them.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Gets fielded in the end zone. Spinning past him. We got this. The NFC offense heads out to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On the counter, Gurley. And a nice spin into some open field. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. 30, 10, and touchdown. Todd Gurley, 82 yards. And the NFC adds on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The AFC offense now heading out for their first drive of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 1. And just like that, it's third down.
Well, if these guys are going to chomp into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. Well, you know, it's hard for some of these guys to get on the same page because they've only been practicing together for a week, but these two, I think they're pretty familiar.
I would say so, right? You go back to OTAs, mini camps, preseason camp, games, the whole deal. They ought to know each other pretty well, and in an all-star game like this, key situations, you find someone like that who you know will be exactly where you think they're supposed to be.
Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. This is Barkley. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
5-8, 5-8. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. So.
Gurley. He spins free, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. On first down, it's Gurley. Oh, now he bowls him over. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Gurley.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye